2008, 2009, somewhat more than the prior years, mainly due to fuel. As everybody knows, fuel for diesel and gas has almost doubled in the last 7 or 8 years. That's most of that. And the material side, the numbers jump up because a couple of chemicals we use, rock salt, calcium chloride, things like that, the price has gone up dramatically. Rock salt went up in the order of 27% for one fiscal year. Mainly, the reason is due to the competition for ships. Most of our salt comes from Chile and overseas places. And the ship bottoms, there's only X amount of ships to go around. And with China, when they were booming, there wasn't enough ships, so it drove up the price to get the ship to bring the salt. It has brought back down about $16 a ton. You see on the next sheet some of our costs for some of the materials we use. Example, somehow the prices have gone down for diesel, for example. However, prices have not changed. Look on this chart for sand. Sand remains at $13 a ton. We go get it, even though the price of diesel has dropped down dramatically. The market has not dropped their prices to reflect the cheapness of fuel.
Could you just refer to that sheet? What's the name of it?
The name is
Snow and ice historical materials
historical
costs.
materials costs.
Thank you.
So I guess the point here is, even though fuel costs have dropped, the market has not dropped their prices. Salt, which was $69 a ton last winter, has dropped to $58 a ton. That's a 16% decrease, but it's still higher than it was a couple years before at $41. So again, chemical prices have dropped, but not as much as the market, actually fuel costs have dropped. And again, some of the numbers I found from Massachusetts. Diesel was in the order of $1.57 a gallon in 2003, and we're currently, as of today, I think the average price is $2.79 in Massachusetts. The price of the fuel costs still up there, dropping dramatically. Not as bad as $2.80 it was 3 months ago. So the point of this is a lot of good data to go by. They have very good records going back to 92 of every storm. A lot of good stuff I can pull information out of. Getting back to the question of what's the town getting for the money, there is no, for public works activities, no good benchmarks about comparing apples to apples. So based on that, I did some historical research and some literature search, and I did a couple of calculations. I'm just going to walk you through it. The next one is titled FY09 Regional Snow and Ice Costs. Next table. 2 factors in here. I went to the Department of Revenue for our Treasury, or for our Finance Department. We got the actual snow and ice costs for a variety of communities. All the communities around North Reading and several other communities Dave had targeted as our peers. So those are real numbers for snow and ice for our peers. The other ones, the centerline miles and lane miles, I'll explain what those are. But Mass Highway Department, now Mass DOT, keeps a database of every street in Massachusetts. Width, the length, is it public, is it private, is it state-owned, federal-owned. I extracted from there the accepted roads from North Reading and these other communities. And because it's common practice for towns and a lot of these communities to take care of the private ones and include those for everyone. Difference between centerline miles and lane miles. A centerline mile is literally that. It's the, go down the center of every street, add it up. And Reading, North Reading, it's about 84 miles. A lane mile, however, is more realistic, something to use for paving, plowing, things like that, because it reflects the actual width of the street. You got a 1-lane road, 1 pass. 2 lanes, double, 3 lanes more, just proportional. So that's a good indicator of the square footage or the yardage you need to plow. My first guesstimate of this, I divided cost by inches of snow. My conclusion on this is due to the wide variation you see in the averages, the high and the low, it's not really a good indicator of anything. An inch of snow here doesn't really say anything. You could have more snow here than Peabody, this and that, so it's not a really good indicator due to that spread of numbers. And there's really no literature out there to back up that this is a good indicator. Next one I tried is just dividing total cost by centerline miles. Same thing, if you look over to the right, the relatively wide difference between the high, the low, and the average is a little better than just a straight inch, but just not good enough. It's not really a good thing to use for financial analysis. The next one I tried, I did divide it by the lane miles, and actually did find literature on that. And one thing to recommend, or to show you, is this is what it cost us relative to our peers to plow snow. North Reading, it cost last year around $4,700 per lane mile, RC. The range from this goes from Lexington at 8,200 down to as low as Middleton with 3,000. So this kind of shows we're really not far out of whack. I guess I'm at the finance committee and we talked about it. It kind of shows, put in perspective what we do. It shows kind of inherited with Dave, the level of service. People tend to be happy in this town. They like the level of service they get for snowmobile. So that's a positive thing. If you're spending a lot of money and everybody didn't like the job, that would not be a good thing. So I have basically a two-page piece of paper here. That's what I'm walking through. So I took some of the existing data. I've taken some of the cost and benchmarked it. Oh, by the way, in perspective, a lot of state highways use these cost per center lane mile, per lane mile. For example, Mass Highways cost is around $3,900 per lane mile. So highway is different from a local community, but it gives you, it's in the ballpark. It's not orders of magnitude off. I've been involved with plowing snow as a municipal official for 20 years, my father had me up when I was 4, I think, shoveling out the driveways, I remember. I've been involved with it for a long time. So, I looked at what's called best management practices. This is number 3 in this list. There's a variety of things here that the new technology. We actually do a lot of these. We use alternate icing materials. We use a chemical called calcium chloride. You see the truck, with the sander in the back truck comes out. There's a sprayer in the back that sprays this chemical on it, which actually helps to keep this chemical from bouncing off the road. Studies have shown you reduce your wastage up to 30%. We've already been doing that for a year. We practice something called anti-icing. Anti-icing technology, you don't wait till the ice builds up, so you get these big clumps that you have to shear off with a backhoe. We actually put stuff down before that forms. That's a better level of service and actually it's cheaper. To take ice, put rock salt on it after it builds up versus doing the anti-icing is a 3-to-1 cost. You save a lot of money with that. We do something called pre-wetting. As I mentioned, we wet the materials before we put them on the ground. We use salts, snow fences. That's a common technique. We have a large field, say like the golf course. The wind blows across it, blows it up, so we have to plow it. By having those in, that helps. One thing we're trying this year is actually measuring how much salt we put out. To that extent, I calibrated each of the sanders such that I know on setting of one on the machine, it puts out X amount of pounds, setting 2, 3, and 4 for all the trucks. So initial thoughts after the first storm, we had one truck that basically reduced its use by 50%. That's just the first storm. I really evaluated all the trucks and the results at the other end. It was relatively warm temperature too, so it's not really a true measure of the efficiency for the entire year. But it's promising. We can save on the rock salt 50% or even 10%. That's a saving to the community. We can use other things. Other things I'm doing is optimizing operations, documenting things and then optimizing it. It's kind of what I'm doing in every operation. And this is just an example of, these are the snow and ice maps showing plowing. Town's already broken into 15 routes. They're all designated. Very clear to the operators. Each of the operator gets a small map. Shows exactly what they have to do, so you don't waste time reviewing them. We do the same for sanding. Specific routes. For specific assignments of vehicles. Each driver gets a map. I've looked at the various centerline miles and lane miles and all the other things to show its balance. You don't have one gentleman doing 50 miles, one guy doing 2 miles. It's all relatively balanced and well laid out. So the costs are relative, I guess the bottom line to all this, costs are not truly out of whack with a lot of our peers. I am undergoing a process where I'm going to document how we do it, why we do it, so we can optimize, cut the cost down, and keep the cost below. Any questions on snow and ice? Anybody not happy about last Saturday night?
If I could, Bob. If I could, Bob.
Mr. Vino.
So, I guess what I'm hearing then, Dick, is we're gonna keep doing what we've been doing, is this?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause
Again, looking in my mind, based on what I've been told, people are happy with the level of service the community currently gets.
Excellent.
I'm not looking to change it, I'm looking to optimize it,
Yeah.
to keep the cost down.
I mean,
Same
we have.
level of service, maybe a little more inexpensive,
Yep.
but level of service, number one.
Yeah, I have people from out of town that comment how good North Reading is. They say you can tell when you get to North Reading, and you can. Go on Haverhill Street after a storm, and you'll know when you get to Reading.
I came from Peabody to
'Cause you'll be in the
Smithfield
woods.
last Saturday night. I agree with you.
Yeah.
The market is
Yeah.
different.
What-
So, yeah,
What'd
a
you
lot of things
find?
I inherited from Dave are very well done. I'm just documenting them and trying to
Yep.
make them a little bit
I
more
understand,
efficient.
thank you.
The only comments that I've heard over the years, and again, everybody likes the level of service. Sometimes I've heard comments that some people feel that we circle the route too many times and we've already scraped it down to the hot top and we keep, drivers keep going around and around and around. I personally, over the years, all the years that I've sat here, it's been somewhat of a bone of contention. And Dave has always been able to provide us with adequate documentation to show that from a peer standpoint, looking at the other communities, what they spend and what we spend, we've been doing a pretty efficient job of getting a better level of service. And I think it's because he was able to keep up with the changing times and the different
Probably
practices that are available. But
Customers that see the trucks going around for contracted vehicles is minimum 4 hours. You buy them, if they're in 1 hour plowing, you're paying for 4. So they would sit there, which is not a good thing, or keep them moving. So oftentimes, we own them for 4 hours. What the town does is great, is we set the prices every season, what the contractor gets. If it's a 10-ton truck gets this, pickup gets that. So they set the prices, and we did not raise the prices at all from last year, we stayed consistent. So some communities raise those up. So we are benchmarking what Mass Highway charges people, we're actually below that. Or pays people, excuse me, pays people. So we try to, part of those things, there's in the contract, and we limit it to, you need a 4-hour minimum to attract people in the contract, what's their own, rather than having them sitting in a parking lot at taxpayers' expense.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Yule.
Dick. One of the things that I've observed is the sidewalks and the concerns on not the state road because and not where there are businesses. I'm not concerned about that. The concerns that we have are, and I can only speak for my area, what I observe, are right along from Park Street. From Main Street along Park towards Concord Street. That's a sidewalk there, okay? And then there's Oakland Street has a sidewalk going down to the school. They have a tendency not to be plowed with that, I don't know what that machine is called, but it's, and when it does, it's not a good one. It's not a good job, and I think that has to do more with the machine than it has to do with anything else. That's a guess on my part. But another area of concern that I do get feedback on are the corners where Barberry meets Oakland, where the buses turn from the school. They drop the kids off and they turn. Quite a few kids do walk down to school on that street. The corners are the ideal place, apparently, for the plow drivers to stack the snow. And what happens is you can be walking down any of those streets, and if the sidewalk is shoveled or plowed, whatever the case might be, when you get to the ends, you now have to go out into the street in order to get to where you're going. And if that's something you can throw on your radar through the course of the year, I think a lot of parents will feel much better about their child standing out into the street because they can't stand back because of the snowbanks and so on that have been built.
We are relooking the snow plow routes for the sidewalks. We have different equipment this year. The V-plows you mentioned, it gets about that much off the ground. It doesn't clean it off. It's all
Right.
slippery to people walking the street anyway.
Right.
We have a attachment, it's a snow blower attachment. We're thinking on after we clear it. The tractor can go with the V-plow very fast. The snow blower will be slow. That cleans it up, brings it down. You can also punch through those banks you mentioned. If you can't do that, we take it out with a loader. That's what we call cleanup work after the fact. So being new to the town, there are things like that. I assume we have a list, or I'll make a list. These are the after snow cleanup things to do.
Thank you.
My next quick item is this one called strategic goals.